Hello viewers, good morning, good afternoon and good evening from wherever you are watching me from. Today's video is going to be how I cook my fresh tomato stew with crayfish. If you are watching me for the first time, thank you for tuning in and please do subscribe. And for my subscribers and returning subscribers, thank you for coming back to support me. So let's get straight to the point. I will be using fish. I will be frying it. So, vegetable oil, shaki or cow tripe, fresh tomatoes, soft chicken. You can use strong one, gizzard, salt, blended crayfish, Scotch bonnet pepper, thyme and bay leaves, seasoning cubes, onions and garlic. You can use any meat of your choice, be it beef meat, turkey, whatever you can use. The main ingredient is I'm done crayfish. Cutting and washing the fish. I'm going to mix it with the spices. You can use any spices of your choice. So these are what I will be using. A little salt, vegetable spices, a little curry, blended Scotch bonnet pepper and garlic. Then I'll be adding liquid seasoning. Use any spices of your choice. I'm done mixing the fish. I'm going to leave it until I finish boiling the fresh tomatoes. Okay, I'm done washing and cutting the tomatoes. I cut it for easy blending. I'm going to be adding onion, Scotch bonnet pepper and garlic. I'm going to be blending the three together, all this together. And the remaining garlic, onion and Scotch bonnet pepper I will use for cooking the meat. Done blending the fresh tomatoes, onion and garlic, okay, and Scotch bonnet pepper. So this is what I have. I'm going to allow it to cook while the water dries. I'm not going to cover the pot because if I do so, it's going to spill over. So all I will do is to leave it open and cook in a moderate heat. As you can see, there are bubbles forming on top, so you don't need to cover it. I have finished washing the cow tripe, so I will be adding my seasoning a little because I do like to cook my meat to get a tasty meat. So I'll be adding my seasoning just a little at a time. So a little bit of curry, little bit of salt, a little bit of Scotch bonnet pepper with garlic. And remember, I use pepper when I added pepper when I was blending my tomatoes, so I don't want to get a very hot tomato stew at the end. So I'll be adding 1 cube of seasoning, a little thyme, just a little, not much. Stir. Add water. The water should be above the meat, so this is perfect. Then cover and cook for the next 1 hour. Yes, the next 1 hour, because this shaki I'm using is the thick part of it, so the thick part is very hard and it takes a lot of time. Okay guys, the shaki has been cooking for 1 hour 30 minutes. I have tested it. It's a little bit tender. It's okay now to add the gizzard. So I have washed the gizzard and I'll be adding it now. I'll add a cube of seasoning, a little bit salt. I will not be adding pepper, Scotch bonnet pepper again, because the meat stock is already spicy. So I'll be adding a little thyme. That's all I will be adding for now. So stir it, then cover and cook for the next 10 to 15 minutes. Okay guys, so after 15 minutes I'm going to be adding the chicken. So the chicken has been cut and washed, so time to add it. Okay, I will be adding 2 cubes of seasoning, curry seasoning, onion, the rest of the bay leaves and thyme. I'm going to stir it. Add a little because of the garlic inside. So this is Scotch bonnet pepper and garlic. Then I will cover and cook for 3 minutes. Then I'll come and check for salt. Okay, earlier on I said I'll be checking the chicken after 3 minutes, but no, it's 10 minutes. So I'll be checking for seasoning. Okay, I'll be adding salt. Then another 2 cubes of Mali. Yeah, this is how I cook my meat chicken for stew. So it's time to check the meats. They are tender. You can see the chicken is somehow separated from the bone. So the meat and the chicken are tender. So I will be putting them in the oven. I don't want to fry them. I want to. I'm done cooking the meat and chicken, so I'm going to put it in the oven. I'll be frying my marinated fish. Guys, so I'm using the oil I used in frying the fish, but it's optional. You can use a fresh vegetable oil. So what I'll be doing now is to add the chopped onion. At the same time, I will be adding the blended crayfish. And fry until the aroma fills the room. Once you start perceiving the crayfish aroma, you add the cooked fresh tomatoes. I'll be adding the cooked fresh tomatoes. So I'm going to stir. I'm going to allow to cook for 1 to 3 minutes before I add my chicken stock. Okay, I'm going to be adding my meat and chicken stock. I will be adding it to the consistency I like. It's not going to be watery or too thick. Okay, let me check it if I need to add more water. I think I will add more stock. Okay, I like the consistency like this. What I'm going to do is to cover it and cook until the oil flows on the top. You have to check how the stew is cooking. Okay, the stew is boiling so well. Yeah, the consistency is okay, but there is something missing here, and that is oil. You see, the oil are gradually forming, but because the oil is not much, that is why for almost 20 minutes I'm cooking it, the oil have not float at the top. So at this stage I will add more oil. Don't be afraid that you are adding too much oil. No, the oil you can use to cook your jollof rice, your moi moi, or even egusi soup, or any soup that requires palm oil. So that's it. By the time the stew boils, you will see how the oil will float at the top, and then it's ready. That's the time you will add the chicken meat or whatever you are using. See it, it's forming so quick. Look at that. Look at how quick it is forming. It's time to add the meat, chicken, and fried fish. Yeah, so you can see the oil is floating, and there's another way you can know if the water have dried up. Stir the stew and then take a look at, I don't know if you are seeing it. You see my spoon? There's no sign of water here. So it's oil that maybe you are seeing. That means there is no more water in the stew. So your stew is ready. So you can now add whatever meat you are using. I showed us before that I'm going here. That's the meat I put in the oven, or baked meat, whichever. So I'll be adding it. We'll be adding. I have to test for salt, or maybe if I should still add pepper. Good. Okay guys, my stew is ready. Please, if you want to cook your stew, you need patience. Stew is not something you cook and you will start rushing. No, you can't beat it. Never. Instead, you will get a bad stew. That means your stew will burn. You will never. You see, my spoon is how free my spoon is moving, because my stew is not burnt. So you need time to cook your stew, and you need to stir occasionally to avoid burning. So this is my stew. You need to try this. This is good with crayfish. Wow, you will like it, believe me, you will. And see how it is. So that is what I have here. I don't know if you can see that. So, and you see the oil, how it separates. So the oil, if you think it's too much, you can use it for your moi moi, stew, whatever. You will not get it wrong. So this is the way I cook my crayfish tomato stew. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Bye bye.